Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today is September 22nd, and that means day 265 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we printed out this very practical wall mount for a PS4 controller, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 265 of the 3DP 365 project. On today's episode, we printed out this very cool wall mount for a PS4 controller. Now, I think it might actually work for an Xbox controller. I don't have an Xbox, so I can't tell you if it actually does, but it was designed for the PS4 controller. And lately, I've been playing a lot of games on my PS4 and staying up a little bit later than I should with prints going in the other room. It was a good way to occupy time instead of just staring at the print. And I wanted to have a way that I could put my controller up and not have to get out of bed because our PlayStation's in the bedroom and disturb my wife. So I was looking for something that I could mount on the wall that would hold my PS4 controller. And it had to meet a couple of criteria too. First of all, it had to be for a PS4. Now I've seen a lot of holders for controllers that don't have these little insets in there for the bottom of the PS4 controller to sit in for these little pieces here. And that was important. The other thing is I had to have room for me to plug in my cord to charge up the controller when I'm not using it. And there is plenty of room here because it mounts on the wall just like that. So there's plenty of room in there so I could get my cord in there and plug it in. The other thing too is that the area that mounts to the wall had to have enough surface area so I could use a command strip, because I'd rather use a command strip than put a screw into the wall. Because we live in an apartment and you really shouldn't put screws in the wall in an apartment. So I wanted to have something that would hold a command strip, and this is actually the most perfect size in the world for that. It just happened to be perfect size. Now these are the slightly temporary command strips. I'll have to get some of the heavy duty ones, but they're the same size and they'll fit perfectly on this spot. That way I can mount it either onto the wall or onto the bookshelf that's near the bed. And while browsing around on Thingiverse, like I said, I found quite a few of them. I actually did a search for PS4 controller, and it came up with over 130 results. Now granted, some of these results are actually for the PS4 stand, and some of them are actually for little knob replacements, and I'm not exactly sure how those work unless you're using flexible material. But I'm happy with the PS4 controller, so I don't want to modify it. I just needed some place to hang it when I'm done playing my game. So once we had this design downloaded, and I'll put the link down in the description so you guys can download and print this one yourself. Once I had it downloaded, I sent it over to Simplify3D for slicing. In Simplify3D, I used a 0.2mm layer height with 4 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters. I also used only 10% infill on this model, and I did set my coast nozzle setting to 2mm, which was a suggestion from some of you guys, my subscribers, on how to get rid of that seam. And after about 2.5 hours of printing, our little wall mount for my PS4 came out perfect. Now I did use some support material because it prints like this, and those notches, I didn't want a sloppy print. And of course, when I was pulling the support material off, I did scratch it quite well. I did put quite a good scratch in there, but it's okay. It's just a wall mount holder. I actually thought about reprinting it, and I was like, well, it's just a wall mount holder. But the print itself, it came out perfect. I did use the optimized seam option, so the seam wouldn't be in one place. So I really can't check to make sure that that really helped the coast nozzle setting, but I can't find any holes in it like I normally would with some of my other prints that I did that also optimized seam setting on. So that setting actually worked. Thank you guys, I really appreciate your help on solving that problem. And the print itself, it turned out perfect. There are no blobs, there are no globs, there are no layer skips or layer shifts. I did use a brim because it's got a very small footprint for it to print even on my sanded acrylic bed. So I did use a brim with this print, and we did run this out at 35mm per second, only because I was a little curious about that coast nozzle setting, and I didn't want to have any problems, and I wanted to make sure the print came out perfect, and of course it did. So the next stage is to head up to the hardware store and get some of the heavy-duty versions of the command strips and mount this up on the wall so I have some place to put my PS4 controller when I'm done playing my game. Well, that about wraps it up for day 265 of the 3DP 365 project. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, check out the affiliate links down in the description. If you make a purchase through Matterhackers, Amazon, or GearBest, it kicks a little bit back to the channel, it doesn't cost you a penny, and I really appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.